பெரும் சர்ச்சைக்கு உள்ளான திருப்பதி லட்டு விவகாரம் தொடர்பாக தற்போது திருப்பதி தேவஸ்தானம் தரப்பில் விளக்கம் அளிக்கப்படுகிறது. அதன் நேரலை காட்சிகளை பார்க்கலாம்.
మీన్వైల్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ కమిటీ సహాతోనే ఒక టెండర్ పిలిచి ఆ టెండర్ ద్వారా కూడా క్వాలిటీ సప్లయర్స్ విత్ గుడ్ రేట్ రీజనబుల్ రేట్ వచ్చేలాగా ఒక సప్లయర్స్ని కూడా ఐడెంటిఫై చేయడం జరిగింది. ఆ సప్లై చేసే మెటీరియల్ ల్యాబ్లో టెస్ట్ చేసి బయట ఈ టెస్ట్ లేదు ఏవైతే టెస్ట్లు ఏఆర్ ఫుడ్స్ అనే వాళ్ళకి చేసామో అవే టెస్ట్ వీళ్ళకి కూడా చేసాము. ఈ టెస్ట్లు పాస్ అయ్యాయి. తర్వాత ఇంటర్నల్గా సెన్సరీ ల్యాబ్ అనేది ఒకటి సెటప్ చేయాలి. సెన్సరీ ల్యాబ్కి ఇది ఎలా ఉంటే టీ టెస్టింగ్కి టీ అనేది రేట్ చేయడానికి డిఫరెంట్ టెస్టర్స్ ఉంటారు. అంటే వాళ్ళు టీ క్వాలిటీ ఎలా
திருப்பதி தேவஸ்தானம் தரப்பில் தற்போது லட்டு சர்ச்சை தொடர்பாக விளக்கம் அளிக்கப்படுகிறது. தேவஸ்தான அதிகாரி அதன் விளக்கத்தை அளித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார். இத்தொடர்பான கூடுதல் விவரங்களோடு இணைகிறார் செய்தியாளர் புஷ்பராஜ். புஷ்பராஜ், விவரங்களை பதிவு செய்யலாம். தேவஸ்தானம் தரப்புல என்ன சொல்றாங்க?
பாலவேல், திருப்பதி மலையில் லட்டு மற்றும் அன்னப்பிரசாதங்கள் ஆகியவை தயாரிக்க கடந்த ஆட்சி காலத்தின் போது பயன்படுத்தப்பட்ட நெய்யில் மீன் எண்ணெய் மற்றும் விலங்கு கொழுப்பு ஆகியவை கலந்திருப்பதாக சந்திரபாபு நாயுடு கூறியதை தொடர்ந்து பெரும் சர்ச்சை வெடித்துள்ளது. இந்த சர்ச்சை பற்றி தற்போது தேவஸ்தான நிர்வாக அதிகாரி மூத்த IAS அதிகாரி சியாமலா ராவ் செய்தியாளர்களுக்கு விளக்கம் அளித்துக் கொண்டிருக்கிறார். அந்த விளக்கத்தில் அவர் 5 நிறுவனங்களிடமிருந்து நெய் வாங்கிய நிலையில் திண்டுக்கலை சேர்ந்த ஏஆர் ஃபுட் நிறுவனத்திடமிருந்து 4 டேங்கர் நெய் வந்திருந்தது. அந்த நெய்யின் தரம் சரியாக இருக்குமா என்று சோதனை செய்ய முடிவு செய்தோம். ஆனால் தேவஸ்தானத்திடம் அதற்கு தேவையான ஆய்வகங்கள் இல்லாத காரணத்தினால் குஜராத்தில் இருக்கும் நேஷனல் டைரி டெவலப்மெண்ட் போர்டு ஆய்வகத்திற்கு சாம்பிள் அனுப்பி சோதனை செய்யப்பட்டது. அந்த சோதனையின் போது கிடைக்கப்பட்ட முடிவுகளில் அவர்கள் சப்ளை செய்த நெய்யில் தாவர கொழுப்பு மற்றும் சோயாபீன்ஸ் எண்ணெய், மீன் எண்ணெய் மற்றும் விலங்குகளின் கொழுப்பு ஆகியவை கலந்திருப்பது உறுதி செய்யப்பட்டது. எனவே அந்த நிறுவனத்தை பிளாக் லிஸ்டில் அவர்களுக்கு வைத்திருக்கிறோம். மேலும் அவர்களுக்கு அபராதம் விதிக்கவும் முடிவு செய்யப்பட்டுள்ளது. இந்த நிலையில் தேவஸ்தானத்தின் பயன்பாட்டிற்காக கர்நாடக அரசுக்கு சொந்தமான நந்து நிறுவனத்திடமிருந்து தற்போது நெய் வாங்கி கொண்டிருக்கிறோம் என்று கூறிக்கொண்டிருக்கிறார் பாலவேல்.
புஷ்பராஜ், தொடர்ந்து இணைப்பில் இருங்க. தற்போது தேவஸ்தான அதிகாரி தரக்கூடிய விளக்கத்தின் நேரலை காட்சிகளை தொடர்ந்து பார்க்கலாம். திருப்பதி லட்டு தொடர்பாக முதலமைச்சர் சந்திரபாபு நாயுடு எழுப்பிய பல்வேறு சந்தேகங்கள், அதே நேரத்தில் நெய் குறித்த ஆய்வு முடிவுகள் வெளிவந்த நிலையில் அது தொடர்பாக தற்போது திருப்பதி தேவஸ்தானம் தரப்பில் நிர்வாக அதிகாரி சியாமலா ராவ் விளக்கம் அளித்து வருகிறார். அதன் நேரலை காட்சிகளை பார்க்கலாம்.
Again and again, that is the divinity of this place and divinity of Lord Sri Venkateswara. So, Honorable CM,
all Hindus considered Sri Venkateswara Swami temple.
When I took over as executive officer TTD, when I called on Honorable CM, he expressed concern on the quality of ghee procured and the quality of the laddu, which is considered to be very sacred, and it is offered as prasadam to Sri Lord Venkateswara Swami. And any deviation in the quality will cause this called doing apavitram, doing something which is not sacred. So he wanted that we should take steps to ensure that the sanctity of the temple is restored by different means, including improving the quality of ghee getting pure cow milk ghee. So as per that, we started working on that. Then we found that there are various reasons why the quality of ghee is not up to the mark. One is that we don't have any internal lab to test adulteration in the ghee. And also there is no system of testing the quality of ghee for adulteration in outside labs also. There is no system. You could have explored, we could have done it, it's very easy. There is no system. And the rates quoted by the tenderers for whatever reasons is unviable. The rates are so low that everyone can say, not necessarily an expert, anyone will say that it is you cannot get ghee, pure cow ghee, which is offered to Swami at this rate, 320 rupees per kg. So we need to have at least or something around 500 maybe to get a pure cow ghee. So that is why these are the reasons why we have pure quality of ghee. So we started working on that, and then we warned all the suppliers. We told them that if you are supplying any substandard ghee, we will blacklist you. We will test the samples in outside NABL accredited labs and we will blacklist you for substandard supplies. So almost everybody started improving their supplies, and we didn't have any issues except with one supplier, AR Foods, Tamil Nadu. So we have collected samples and then sent it to NDDB lab, NDDB CALF lab, Anand, which is a highly reputed lab, which is used by all premier exporters, dairy exporters for testing their quality. When they supply to outside the countries, so the other countries should have faith in the labs where we are testing our samples. So that NDDB lab is considered to be highly reputed. They test their labs. We have sent it to them. It's a government controlled lab. So we have tested our samples there. Then the reports have come, which are very shocking. And another is it is adulterated with animal fat. Animal fats adulteration. So we have tested our samples there. Then the reports have come, which are very shocking. The report says two things. One is that it is adulterated with vegetable fats, and another is it is adulterated with animal fats. Animal fats adulteration depending on these values, S values. So it is lard, which is a pig fat, then palm oil and beef tallow, then fish oil included, rapeseed, linseed and all these things. It's like a concoction of all these, and the results are abnormally bad, abnormally low. Like the pure ghee, pure milk fat, the pure milk fat should have reading between 95.68 and 104.32. That is the range a pure milk fat should have. But unfortunately, this sample, almost all the samples have values around 20, which means that the samples or the milk or the ghee supplied is highly adulterated. not even close to the range. It is highly, it is maybe 1/5 of the lowest range. Is very, very abnormally shocking reports. So then we stopped the supplies immediately of that person, of that supplier, and we started a procedure for blacklisting as well as for penalizing the supplier. Then we formed an expert committee on the ghee supplies, how to improve the supplies and how to improve the tender conditions so that we get good quality people, and also how to strengthen our internal systems so that we don't have this problem in future again. So as per that, we called for one tender as per interim report of the committee, and then we found suppliers. Then we started getting supplies from them. They are found to be, their samples were tested. They are found to be good within the limits, and then sensory parameters also are good. Then as per the final recommendation of the expert committee, we called for the tender, and the tender is under finalization. Then as per the recommendation of this expert committee, they recommended that we should have our own internal lab. Until that time you set up your own internal lab. You should use the services of outside lab, outside NABL accredited lab. That is the recommendation. So NDDB, we have been working with them, and they are kind enough to donate equipment which will not cost more than 75 lakhs to us, and then probably it should come by December, January, and then they come and get it installed. And this issue will have a permanent solution in future. Will not have. Till the time we keep sending samples to outside labs, and then we have set up a sensory lab inside with the trained manpower. These lab, the personnel in the lab, they are trained in CFTRA Mysore, and then the test the samples on a hedonic it is called hedonic scale. They rate from 0 to 9. Anything above 7 is acceptable. So the lab is already established. It started working. So we will have no problem of ghee adulteration in future. We have full plan in place, and then we are implementing it. Thank you so much.
TTD earns approximately 500 crore through the sale of prasad material, and out of which it spends approximately 250 crore on ghee procurement alone. Before you stepped in as the EOC, what mechanisms existed to check the adulteration in ghee? Because yesterday, while former TTD chairman and present Rajya Sabha MP Y.V. Subbareddy, in his press conferences made it clear that during their tenure also, about 10 consignments of ghee were returned due to complaints of adulteration. Can you throw light on that?
This is the first time in the history of TTD that we have got a sample tested outside for adulteration. We have a lab. We might have found some variation in the parameters, but most important for TTD is the adulteration. That is not, doesn't exist. And then we have sent it for the first time. We've searched for the labs available outside. We found the best lab. This is the first time we have done it. So they previously, maybe samples TTD would have been testing for other parameters and sending them. But most important is the adulteration for vegetable oils and animal fats, which is very, very important. And also we should know whether it is a cow ghee or something else. Yeah, that is the thing.
Sir, we had and the report that says that last 10 లారీల వెనుక పంపడంలో రిపోర్ట్స్ వచ్చి ఆగ్మార్క్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల విన్నాను. రిపోర్ట్స్ ఆల్సో సేస్ దట్ మీ రీడ్ ఆల్సో న్యూస్ కూడా వచ్చింది. ఆగ్మార్క్ లేకపోవడం వల్ల వెనక పంపించేసామని చెప్పి సుబ్బారెడ్డి గారు చెప్పారు ఇక్కడ మాకు ఆగ్మార్క్ లేకపోవడము అని దానివల్ల.
But as I'm telling you, this is the first time, just let me clarify to him. So this is the first time in the history of TTD that we have sent a sample for testing adulteration outside. And I'm not saying that TTD never rejected a sample or anything, but adulteration and then testing for animal fat when the rates are so low is very important. That is the only thing I want to say. Yeah.
Sir,
just one second. No.
No. The adulterated ghee, 4 tankers have been kept aside, and then they were kept aside so that they can be used when the reports come clear. But the reports unfortunately didn't come clear. Then we rejected. We sent it, and then we stopped from that supplier.
You mean that only 4 tankers were procured from that blacklisted vendor? Only 4 tankers were procured so far?
No. Prior to that also there was a procurement. So after we identified samples and sent outside which were found to be adulterated, then we didn't use that tanker which has we identified sample on the basis of doubts. On the basis of sensory, just 1 second. On the basis of sensory perception, we trained people are there. They identify and then those samples are sent outside. Others are used. Just 1 second. Yeah, please.
Consignment dispatched by this AR to TDD. And when was the last consignment? 2 things, sir. First and last. Because you said that the first the supply order was date of supply order was May 15th.
15th.
Yeah. Did you receive any gift from them? How many consignments? If so, how many consignments?
Maybe I don't have exact date, but about 15. Yeah, data finalization tender was 8/5. Data supply order was 15/5. Normally they take about 15-20 days for supplying.
Exactly, sir.
Yeah.
How much consignment did you receive? What is the quantity of consignment they have received?
We received 4 plus 3, 7, around 10. Overall around 10 tankers we received from
10
them.
tankers. And 10 tankers, did we use it?
Out of that, 6 were found to be okay as per this, and then 4 were found to be problem. Sorry, out of 6, 4 were sent outside. Out of 10, 4 were sent outside, 6 were used.
Sir, అసలు తిరుమలలో ప్రస్తుతం ఎంతమంది మెయిన్ సప్లై చేస్తున్నారు? కేంద్ర లంచం సప్లై చేస్తున్నారు?
Yeah, just once somebody asked you.
Sir, with respect to these allegations found, how long did we know about these complaints that were coming in regarding the quality being poor?
There is no allegation. That report only says the actual.
No, but how long did we know that there was some kind of standards that did not meet with the preparation of the prasada?
When I joined, I can tell you that from that time onwards I have been hearing. So we have taken action, and also before I joined, just before joining, I called an honorable CM. He also stated, and he said in the recent press also he said.
Is there any data that how much can be used?
Supplies 5 companies ఉన్నాయండి. There are 5 companies which are supplying.
So the adulteration problem was found with only one supplier?
One supplier. Rest all, they're fine.
Sir,
திருப்பதி லட்டு தொடர்பான சர்ச்சை மிகப்பெரிய அளவில் எழுந்த நிலையில் தற்போது தேவஸ்தான தலைமை அதிகாரி ஷியாமலா ராவ் செய்தியாளர்களை சந்தித்து வெளியளித்த நேரலை காட்சிகளை பார்த்தோம்.